SLPs that work in the schools, right? We have high caseloads. A lot of times the students are seen in groups. And I was like, we need to work smarter, not harder. And I said it would be great if there were more resources for SLPs that could target many goals. And I thought a book was a great way to do that. And a lot of the students that I was working with at that time happened to be struggling with the S sound specifically. And I saw like it was around the time when I got Sophie, children love dogs, and it was kind of a playful way to incorporate it.
Hey there, and welcome to the Speechy Side Up podcast. My name is Vanita Litvack, and I am so grateful you're here. I'm an ASHA certified speech language pathologist, author, and augmentative and alternative communication consultant who is obsessed with helping SLPs like you stop reinventing the wheel and connect with other SLPs in the trenches. Have you ever wondered how other SLPs seem to be doing it all with ease? Well, around here, you'll get to hear firsthand how SLPs are really getting things done while keeping evidence-based practice and self-care in mind. Think of this as a coffee date with your SLP friends. Get ready to be challenged and encouraged while we learn together. Today, I'm joined by Gabriella Gizzo, a licensed speech therapist in New York and Connecticut. Gabriella has extensive experience working with early intervention, preschool, elementary, and middle school students with varied needs. She currently works at a special school for children with visual and cognitive impairments. In addition to her clinical work, Gabriella is the author of Sophie's Special Story and was one of the 2023 ASHA Innovator Award recipients. Gabriella, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
And congratulations on your award. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, ASHA last year it was a really fun time.
That's great. So do you feel like that bio covered everything, or is there anything else you want to add before we talk about your children's book?
I think that was good. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So what inspired you to write the book?
So it was actually when I was in graduate school at the time, when we're in graduate school, we have to do all of our different clinical rotations. And I was doing one at just a gen ed elementary school. And what I realized was that SLPs that work in the schools, right? We have high caseloads. A lot of times the students are seen in groups. And I was like, we need to work smarter, not harder. And I said it would be great if there were more resources for SLPs that could target many goals. And I thought a book was a great way to do that. And a lot of the students that I was working with at that time happened to be struggling with the S sound specifically. And I saw it was around the time when I got Sophie, children love dogs, and it was kind of a playful way to incorporate it.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
How does your book help parents and teachers?
So the way that I wrote the book, it has the story component, the once upon a time and kind of the fun storyline. But then at the end, I put visual and verbal cues specifically for parents and teachers that want to help their children or their students with the S sound. So that way they kind of have a step-by-step guide and almost a built-in support system to help them.
Amazing. Do you think you'll do books for additional sounds?
I want to, or I want to do just like other speech goals. So I definitely want to write more.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where can they currently be purchased?
So right now, the books are pretty much online wherever books are sold. I would say the most popular, Amazon, Walmart website, Barnes and Noble website, but it's pretty much anywhere.
Amazing. What's that publishing process like?
So it actually was pretty easy but once I found the right publishing company. I would say the hardest part is finding the right company that's willing to work with you, that is affordable. But then once you find the right company, it's nice because it's a one-stop shop. Once you sign the contract, they help you with everything from editing to illustration to distribution, getting the book printed. So that to me was the benefit of using a publishing company versus, some people self-publish, which is totally fine. But I think just going with a company definitely had added support.
Which company did you go with?
I went with it's called Christian Faith Publishing, and it's a smaller publishing company based out of Pennsylvania.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So did they offer you an advance or did you have to pay them to create the book?
So kind of. So when you sign the contract, there's kind of a flat fee that you pay over time. But most publishing companies, as was the case with this one, they don't start earning any money until you have recouped your initial investment. So once you've recouped that, then they earn, let's say, 50 cents for every book that you sell. But honestly, yes, I get a cut. They get a very small portion. The majority of the cut goes to the printing and the distribution. So your Amazon, your Barnes and Noble, and all of that.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get that. And all the publishing deals are structured differently. When my book series was published, it was an advance, but then we didn't earn any additional income until that advance was met. So it it definitely varies across the board, but I can imagine it would be really helpful if you didn't have an illustrator that you could go that route and they would provide that for you.
Right, exactly. And I have heard that too from some of my other friends that have published, like depending on the company, they all have different policies and different contracts. Because then, too, if you don't have an illustrator with the company, then you have to find one yourself and then you have to kind of subcontract out. So it's definitely helpful to kind of keep it all within the same company.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So, what population do you currently work with? You talked about Jeanette a little bit. Is that still the case?
So, not right now. Right now, the school that I'm at ranges 3 to 21 years old. And so I really have mixed age on my caseload, but I work with a lot of students, for example, that they may be 9 or 10 chronologically, but developmentally, their communication level is at like 6 months or 1 year. So, pretty impaired students.
What are the diagnosis?
It's a range, but in order to get into this specific school, they have to have some kind of cognitive and then the visual. So a lot of my students on their IEP will be labeled, for example, as multiple disability, and then underneath they could have a cerebral palsy, blindness, autism, just a bunch of kind of, sub-diagnosis. But those are kind of the two big ones. They have to have something cognitively and then the visual component.
Gotcha. So, are you doing a lot with AAC?
Yeah, I have a decent number of students that are on AAC, and a lot of them, because they have also the visual impairment, they use LAMP specifically, but it's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's almost a key guard it's a certain program, but then they put the key guard on the AAC device. So children that are blind, for example, can select the buttons using motor memory.
Yeah. Is it LAMP VI?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I used to be a consultant for PRC Saltillo.
Oh,
Full
really?
disclosure here. Yeah.
So that's so great. I ran into them at the convention and they've come to the school that I work at, to do a bunch of trainings and they're great. I love them. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, do you want to show your book and talk about it a little bit?
Yes, I just might have to get a copy.
Okay.
One second.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the cover and it's a real picture of myself and Sophie. The publishing company was great because I had sent them pictures of Sophie with me and the illustrators did, a great job. They pretty much made it look, very realistic. And
That's
then
great.
so throughout the book there's different pictures of Sophie doing different funny faces and different funny things. And the book definitely, at the end, I'll show, supports targeting the S sound. But then throughout the storyline, SLPs or parents or teachers, they can use this to target other goals, like a WH goal for what is she doing or where is Sophie. So it has like a multi-purpose or, what is on her neck. And the kids love it. They get a kick out of seeing her, in different outfits. You could use this for labeling, what's this, what's on her head. Some providers have used this too for sequencing because it's a story. And then at the end, these are all the S words as well to practice. And then this is kind of the visual. So parents, teachers, SLPs, and then this is the verbal. So it kind of walks them through step by step.
That's amazing.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
showing that. Is
Yeah.
Sophie nearby? Can we meet Sophie?
Sophie's upstairs. She means well, but if I'm not giving her 100% attention, then she gets a little rowdy. But yeah, she is a doll. It's just she wants your full attention. So
Yeah.
if I'm on a phone call or a conference call or something, then she starts to bark and go a little crazy. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have Sophie meet Louie because he's my
Oh,
office buddy.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome, and I can't wait to check out the book. I think that a lot of the listeners here would find it really helpful to use in their therapy sessions. So, if people want to connect with you, where can they find you?
Yeah, that would be great. So if people want to connect with me on Instagram, my handle is at Speechy Teacher, and then the teacher just has two R's. I'm on TikTok, Gabriella Gizzo 5, and then my Facebook is just my pages, Sophie's Special Story. I love connecting with other SLPs or even parents and teachers and, people asking me questions or just sharing different resources and ideas. So, yeah, I look forward to hearing from them.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Gabrielle. This has been great.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for listening. By the way, have you joined the SSU crew yet? By joining, you get access to the free good section on our website, plus podcast updates, special event notifications, and therapy inspiration. You can sign up at bit.ly/join SSU crew, all lowercase, or just find the link in this episode description. Also, don't forget to take a screenshot of this episode so that you can always refer back to it and share it on social media if you really love the topic. Take care and remember to always fill your speechy side cup first before you can pour into others.